implementation of the planned activities. So it is very essential. Either the monitoring will help. Is there any gap between the implementation and the planning? If there is a gap, then monitoring will help to reduce that gap or to fill the gap by increasing the activities or by increasing the monitoring activities. Means you have to think about the where are the lacunas, where is the mistake that has been taken, or what is the problem that is identified, that must be identified by uh, reducing the gap during the implementation of the activities. Next, monitoring will help whether the resources have been or are being used efficiently or not, whether the resources available for the any project are utilized efficiently or not. It is very much essential that each and every resource must be utilized at its fullest potential. Otherwise, what will happen if resources will keep aside, then the cost of resources, cost of material will be increased. And if the resources are not properly utilized for the implementation of the project, it will not be proved efficient use of resources. So it will create a problem for the resource lacunas. So it may again create financial risk for or an operational risk, that the resources should be available at right time, at right quality, at right quantity. Next, the interventions operating context had changed. So context, the situation, if any situation is changed, so that intervention should be considered during operation, because monitoring will help the operating context had changed or not, or if any change is there, then monitoring will help to identify that change and um, um, to correct that mistake, or to add some input, or to add some values in the desired, or in the um, that project life cycle. So next is monitoring questions. Now questions that should be asked during monitoring: what activities are being implemented? Because what, where, how, these questions can be answered through monitoring questions. So what activities are being implemented while implementing activities? Because implementation is most important phase. Planning is the first step, and either as per planning it is executed or not. It must be identified while the implementation of the activity. Are they being implemented as planned? Next question means what, as per planning, if the actions or the activities are implemented or not. What is the current budget burn rate? So budget financial risk is most important, because as the if there is a lacuna in planning, or if there is not there is a mismatch between planning and current, so it will create the budgetary out of control, and it will create the financial risk for the existing project. Then have any risk been identified? Any sudden risk has been, for example, is there any sudden climatic change is there, or natural disaster will be there? Any kind of challenge is suddenly arises, which is not counted during the project life cycle. It may be possible that natural disaster or any sudden contingency approaches should may occur during this phase. So either the monitoring questions will help to identify that new risk, right? Then our intended target group being reached, whatever the intended target. So there is very important thing in monitoring questions, that whatever the target group means, whatever the um target customer has been reached or not, whatever the changes, whatever the project is correctly reached to the target audience or not. Now next term, M&E, that is monitoring and evaluation. So monitoring is clear. Is there any doubt, or any means query regarding monitoring? So we will start next. What is evaluation? So evaluation means what is the current status of implementation? During when we are on monitoring phase, it is the questions that may uh, regularly ask that what is the current status of implementation, what has been achieved so far, how had it has been achieved, when has it been achieved. So evaluation helps in addition to understand why and how well something was achieved. Evaluation means what is the outcome of your project, what is the outcome of your monitoring phase, whatever the questions asked during monitoring, that are the answer given in the evaluation phase. Whatever the question asks, like what is the current status of implementation, what has been achieved so far, how has it been achieved, means that outcome orientation is measured during evaluation phase. So whatever the achieved, well, something was achieved gives judgment on worth and merit of intervention. It will give the judgment, whatever the worth means, whatever the time, whatever the cost, then operational, financial risk, human resources risk, marketing risk, whatever the business orientation risk that has been worth or not, it will be answered in the evaluation phase. So evaluation allows for a more rigorous analysis of the implementation of an intervention. So also looking at why one effort worked better than the other. So evaluation will give us the exact idea, either the outcome has been achieved, desired outcome, here I will utilize the word desired outcome, as per planning has been achieved or not, that will be considered during the evaluation phase. So what is evaluation first? So evaluation enriches learning process and improves services and decision making capability for those involved in an intervention. So it also provides information not readily available from monitoring, which can be derived from the use of evaluation criteria such as in-depth consideration for impact, then relevance, efficiency, effectiveness, coverage, coordination, sustainability, connectedness, and coherence. So we will just elaborate this term that evaluation enriches learning process and improves service and decision making capability, because during monitoring phase we have seen that the questions, what are, how the activity is going on, what are the stages are there, but in evaluation, after evaluation, getting evaluation data, the decision maker will get that idea or will get the improvement in their decision after evaluation phase, because it provides the information which will the use of evaluation criteria such as depth in-depth consideration for impact, what is the impact of the criteria, what is the impact of the all factors during completion of the project life cycle, it will give in-depth idea in evaluation stage. Then its relevance, efficiency, how efficiently the project is running, how implementations are working efficiently for the completion of project. Up in evaluation we will get the answer. Then effectiveness, how effective, what are the efforts that has been given and that has given the real effect or not. Then coverage, how coverage area means, are the monitoring and all the phases have covered all the area of the desired output or not. Then coordination between different departments, coordination between different human resource or marketing, then finance, operation persons, is there any proper coordination communication that has been crystal clear, transparent during the whole project life cycle, during the implementation of the intervention. Next, sustainability, either the project is environment friendly or not, it is sustainable to not sustainable or not, it has to be considered during the evaluation process. Then connectedness and coherence, either the project life cycle has been maintained the coherency between all the phases or connectedness with the project. So it is a systematic and objective assessment of an ongoing or completed intervention. If intervention is going on, ongoing means it is in running, or either it is completed or not. Either it is completed or not. It considering the project, program, strategy, or policy, because it is design, implementation, and results. So evaluation, during evaluation phase, a strategy or policy, its design, implementation and result are considered, because on the result of evaluation, the strategies and policies are planned whether what should do in the next phase or not. During completion of the project, is the desired outcome has been achieved or not. Interventions are made specifically with that results in the evaluation phase. So why evaluate? So why there is a need to evaluate? Evaluation looks at the question of what difference the implementation of an activity and intervention has made. So it helps answer this question by assessing monitoring data that reflects what has happened and how to identify why it happened. So when evaluation phase is there, so assessing monitoring data, because in monitoring phase we have seen that the monitoring phase will provide either the data is currently there or not. Either the information will be helpful to evaluate the current the as per plan, schedule, time, then as per budgetary operational risk, everything has been covered or not. That reflects that how it can be identified. So evaluation provide practitioners with the required in-depth and evidence-based data for decision-making process, because in monitoring that data is provided, and when evaluation for the evaluation purpose, already monitoring has provided the base proof of data, proof of information which is needed to evaluate, to make proper decision, to make a purposeful decision, so as it can access whether how high and what type of change has occurred during an intervention. So evaluation will help either sudden changes, either sudden challenges has been arise, and how the challenge has been overcome or will be overcome, or it has been overcome by doing that particular phases, how, what, when, why. So giving that answer, it will provide the base during the intervention. So it is also critical to access the relevance and performance of the means and progress towards achieving change. If any change is there, so evaluation is a very critical step. Either they will attain the progress towards achieving any change. If any changes occur, then evaluation will help us to make any progress or to make any changes during the life cycle of the project. So effective conduct and the use of credible evaluation go hand in hand with a culture of results oriented, evidence driven learning and decision making. So in that case, when evaluation are used, they contribute not only to accountability, but also to creating space for reflection, learning, and sharing of findings, innovations, and experience. When evaluation are used, so it does not mean that they will contribute only accountability, but it will also create a space of reflection, learning, and sharing of findings. Whatever the findings occur during the monitoring phase of any project life cycle, it is very essential to result based oriented outcomes, either they are achieved or not. Sharing finding, whatever the findings received or that are drawn from the data available in the monitoring phase, it will help to create something new, innovation and new experience. Because evaluation in at the evaluation stage, it will provide either it if it faces any change, it will provide the evaluation phase. So it is very essential to consider the innovative and experiential learning. So experiment learning will drawn conclusion drawn in evaluation phase. It will help to make any innovative changes in the existing project life. So what is the importance of, next point we will see what is the importance of monitoring and evaluation. So it is a critical process for assessing the performance and effectiveness of programs, projects and policies. So it involves collecting and analyzing data on program activities, outcomes, outputs and impact to determine whether the desired results has been achieved or not. So it is very important, and monitoring and evaluation is a very critical process, because the success or failure of any project or policy or program, it will depend on the results, that desired results are achieved or not, and it is measured only in monitoring and evaluation phase. So in today's complex and dynamic development landscape, the importance of monitoring and evaluation is more crucial than ever, because today we have seen that the environment is always dynamic, it is always changing, it is always flexible, adaptable, agility is there. So in during that changing environment, it is very essential to consider monitoring and evaluation, and it becomes a crucial part than ever. So it allows organization to measure progress towards their goals, identify areas of improvement, and make evidence-based decisions to improve program outcomes. Because monitoring and evaluation provides the result-oriented, evidence-based evidence proofs to take the decision regarding the improvement of program outcomes. So it is very so that is very essential for organization to take the uh, result-oriented decisions on the basis of monitoring and evaluation phase. So what is the importance we will see? So it also provides valuable information for accountability and transparency. So donors, funders, and other stakeholders expect organization to be accountable for the resources they receive and demonstrate the impact of their interventions. So M&E, shortly it is considered M&E, that is monitoring and evaluation, helps organizations demonstrate the effectiveness of their programs, build trust with stakeholder, and secure further funding. Now here in project analysis, it is very crucial part to make transparency, clarity, honesty with the stakeholders. Otherwise, what will happen? And monitoring and evaluation is essential part of the organization that will provide the clarity and transparency and accountability to each and every stakeholder, because the organization to be accountable for the resources, whatever the funders, investor, they have invested their money, time, efforts for the completion of any project. So it is necessary to that the stakeholders should receive the information with clarity, transparency, and accountability. Whatever they are invested, whatever they have invested in their, in terms of monetary benefits or in terms of efforts, time, whatever. So they should get clear cut idea, and that better coordination is maintained with the help of monitoring and evaluation, because it provides the correct data to the stakeholders of the organization, and that secure future funding, because uh, those investors or those funders, they have invested in particular for a project, so they become secure if clarity, accountability is maintained mm, from the stakeholders. So they will consider that their investment is having secured future, and so they will become relaxed with the help of monitoring and evaluation data. Also, it is essential for ensuring that programs are effective, efficient, and accountable. So effectiveness and efficientness and accountability is necessary by monitoring and evaluation. So the program performance organization can identify success and challenges and make informed decision to improve program outcomes and impact. So if there is some innovative in the previous slide, we have seen that experiences and innovative outcomes, if there is coming after monitoring and evaluation stage or in during monitoring and evaluation data. So it is very it will provide a platform for decision makers to improve their program outcomes. So they can add some innovative solutions, or they can remove some disaster solution during the project life cycle. So now what are the key concepts and definition in monitoring evaluation? Because to understand monitoring and evaluation effectively, some familiar with some key concept and that definitions used in this field. When we are going with M&E monitoring and evaluations, there are some key concepts that are covered during this monitoring and evaluation phase. So we will see indicator. So what is the indicator? Indicator is a variable that can be measured to determine progress towards achieving a goal or objective. So indicators may be qualitative or quantitative. So indicator is that variable that can be measured to determine progress. Means either the evaluation is achieving their goal or objective, organization is achieving going to achieve or not, it is measured by qualitative or quantitative indicator. Either the qualitative indicator, if the quality is measured of the organization, so it can be measured, and if quantitative result is expected from the evaluation, so it can be considered with the help of that indicator. Next is output. Output are the direct product or service delivered by a program or intervention. So output, whatever the final output in terms of finished good, in terms of product and services. So either the organization is going to produce tangible goods or intangible services, it can be considered as a output by the program. Then outcome. Now what is outcome? It refers to changes that occur as a result of the program. So these changes are often related to programs, objectives or goals. Outcome, it what is the outcome during the, as it is a result of the program. So what outcomes is there? It can be considered with the changes that is often related to the program's objective or goals. Next concept is impact. Now, impact refers to long-term effects and broader changes that occur as a result of program. So, impact can be challenging to measure and may make years to manifest. So, it is considered that what is the impact? It refers to long-term effects. Long-term, because the impact is that whatever the phases, whatever the from initial phase, from planning to closures for a particular project of an organization, the impact remains long-term effect. So it can be challenging to measure and may take years to manifest. So impact can be measured after a long period of time. Next concept is covered in the monitoring and evaluation is baseline. So baseline data is the information collected at the start of the program. So what is the basic? What is the uh, foundation? Information of means foundation of information against which progress can be measured. What is the um, basic information that is provided in the during the project? It is considered as a baseline. So baseline data is the very considered as the pillar of that particular project. So it is often collected at the start of the program. So baseline or basic information is collected before the starting of any program. Next is monitoring. So it is a systematic and continuous process of collecting data on program activities, outcomes, outputs to track progress towards achieving program goals. So monitoring is already we have considered seen or we have taken this concept at the starting. It is a systematic and continuous process, because monitoring and evaluation, during monitoring and evaluation concept, monitoring is considered as a systematic and continuous process of collecting data, because on the basis of this collection of the data, evaluation is depending on, and on the evaluation the decision maker can take the proper and right decision. So it collecting data on program activities, outputs, outcomes to track the progress towards achieving program goals, whether the desired outcome is achieved or not by the organization. It is measured on the basis of the monitoring. Next is evaluation. So evaluation is the process of assessing the effectiveness, efficiency, relevance, sustainability, and impact of program or intervention. So it involves collecting and analyzing data to determine the program's success or failure. Because evaluation, on the basis of evaluation, it will be considered the success or failure of the program, because either it is correlated with the desired outcomes, either it is effective, either it is efficient, then either it is sustainability, and what is the impact of a program or intervention. Because impact, in the previous slide we have seen impact is considered for a long term. So it is very essential to consider the evaluation. Next term or concept is covered in M&E is logic model. So logic model is a visual representation of a program's theory of change. So it describes the program's inputs, activities, outputs, outcomes, and impact. It will, in logic model, it will provide the visual presentation that like that 3D model, 2D model, 4D model. Now Japanese are working on 5D model also. So 5D, 6D, 7D, they have developed so many. So that model will be developed with the program's theory of change. Next concept is performance indicator. A performance indicator is a specific and measurable variable used to assess program performance. Performance appraisal means how the program or how the activity is performed or not according to the planned schedule, according to the planned intervention, it is completed or not. So its performance is measured under the performance indicator. Next is data quality. So data quality refers to the accuracy, completeness and reliability of data. Reliability is most important factor of data because the data must be reliable because the decision maker has to take the decision on the present on the quality of reliability of the data. If data is not reliable, so the further decisions may make mistake or further decisions will go in wrong direction and that can collapse the existing project. So high quality data is critical for making informed decision based on evidence, and the data whatever provided by the project life cycle, during the project life cycle it must have some evidence, proof that that will help to prove the data reliability of the data itself. So there are some steps and strategies that will help to design a monitoring and evaluation plan. First step is define program goals and objectives. First step that whatever you we have to decide what is the goal and objective of our project. Identification of the problem is most important, and then after identification of problem, then it is necessary the first step to clearly define program goals and objective. So it will provide clear direction for the selection of appropriate indicators, data collection method, and analysis technique. Because after identification problem, we have to decide what is the objective of our project. Because if objective is crystal clear, then after that we will able to decide the uh, appropriate indicators, then what data collection methods should be used, either primary data collection method or secondary data collection method, either data analysis, should I go for qualitative analysis or should I go for quantitative analysis. So that technique will be decided on the basis of goals and objectives. Second step is identify key performance indicators. So KPIs are the specific variables that will used to measure program performance. So it is essential to identify the key performance indicators because that are measurable, relevant, and aligned with program goal and objective. So it must be considered that whatever the objectives are decided, key performance indicators must be correlate with the objective of the project or goals, because if it is not correlated with the goals and objective, it will not um, be useful for the analysis. So next is determine data collection method. There are several methods for collecting data, including survey, interviews, focus groups, then observations and document review. So the choice of data collection method will depend on the type of data needed, available resources, and the target population. So now determine data collection methods. As I said, there are data collection, two different data collection methods are there: primary data collection method and secondary data collection method. So when there are several primary data, when we are going with primary data, it will include survey, interviews, focus group, observation. That techniques will be included under primary data method, and then document review will come under the secondary data collection method. So choice of data collection method will depend on the type of data needed, what type of data needed. If we are going with the primary data, observations, interviews, techniques, then survey, and then we will focus on particular group. Observatory will be placed there, experiential learning will be method will be there. So that will decide the data collection method. So it will depend on the type of data need, available resources, and the target population. What is our target population during the project life cycle? So next step is develop data collection tools. Now here, develop data collection tools. Once data collection method have been identified. Now, when we are clear about what type of data collection method should be used for completion of project life cycle, then it is necessary to develop data collection tool. So, such as survey questionnaires, interview protocols, or observation checklist. So, in that case, we have to decide that what survey questionnaire we have to design. Then interview protocols, we have to send the interview protocols to the target audience, target groups, target population. Then observation checklist if we are going to develop that data collection tools. So these tools should be pre-tested to ensure they are valid and reliable. To consider the validity and reliability of the data collection tools, we have to consider pilot plant scale up study. So we have to create pilot study, and then after getting the desired outcome, and then we should go for the actual results. Next is determine data analysis methods. There are different methods for analyzing data, such as descriptive statistics, inferential statistics, qualitative analysis. So choice of analysis method depend on the type of data collected and research questions. Whatever, either we are acquiring primary data or secondary data, it will decide the data analysis method. Next step is develop a reporting develop a data management plan. Now data management plan involves planning for the storage, organization, and analysis of the data. So the plan should include procedures for data entry, cleaning, storage, and backup. So data management plan, it is very essential to develop a data management plan, because if sudden technical issue arises or sudden storage issue arises, it must be taken into all the lacunas during data management plan. So we have to consider the storage of data also. It is considered for the storage, organization, and analysis of data. So the plan should include the procedure for data entry. Sorry for the disturbance. Just a minute. So during development of management, data management system backup should be there for every information collected during the project life cycle. Next is develop a reporting plan. So reporting is an essential component in monitoring and evaluation. The reporting plan should specify the type of report, audience, and the frequency of reporting. So structure of evaluation report should be clear, concise, and actionable. This is the seventh step. Next step is ensure ethical considerations. So ethical considerations are critical even when designing and conducting monitoring and evaluation. So it is essential to obtain informed consent from participants, maintain confidentiality, and ensure data security. Because ethical, when the data is collected from the audience or target audience, it is very essential to maintain the ethical basis to collect the data from respondent. Because if the data is not collected on the ethical basis, may your unethical practices may come from the data or information, because data is a weapon also, and data is a good instrument also. so that ethical and confidentiality should be maintained during the data collection method. So next step is establish a monitoring and evaluation schedule. So monitoring and evaluation schedule outlines the timeline for data collection, analysis, and reporting. So this schedule may be realistic and consider the availability of the resources. So when we are going for monitoring and evaluation schedule, it must be realistic, it must be achievable, it must be measurable during the particular specific period of time, and consider the availability of resources during the process of monitoring and evaluation. And last one is budget for M&E. So M&E requires resources including personnel, equipment, and software. So it is essential to budget for these resources to ensure that M&E plan can be effectively implemented. So when during um, the monitoring and evaluation phase, every uh, factor needed financial support. So it is very essential to think upon a budget during a specific period of time, because that resources, personnel, equipment, and software we need to invest. So budgetary control must be there during the monitoring and evaluation phase. So here we have completed designing, monitoring, and evaluation plan steps and strategies. What steps are covered during the monitoring and evaluation plan? It has been described. Now we will see what is the key difference between monitoring and evaluation. First, we will go with the definitions only. Monitoring is a continuous systematic collection of data or information throughout the implementation of intervention as a part of intervention management. So it focuses on the implementation of intervention, comparing what is delivered to what was planned. So we have already cleared this definition, as evaluation is a scheduled, periodic, and in-depth assessment at specific points in time before, during, at the end of, or after the intervention. So it is a specific process that assesses the success of intervention against the established set of evaluation criteria. Means evaluation phase will consider the will be measured against the standard, because standard and sample. So sample is measured with the standard, and if it is comparable with the standard, then it is considered as evaluation process is done with the desired outcome. So next difference, monitoring is usually conducted by people directly involved in implementing the intervention, while evaluation conducted by people not having directly participated in the intervention. So monitoring involves direct participation of the people, while evaluation is not having the direct participation at the time of intervention. Next difference is monitoring collects data against indicators and compares achieved results with target, while evaluation access casual contributions of interventions to results and explores unintended results. Next difference is monitoring focuses on tracking the progress of regular or day-to-day activities during implementation, because monitoring involves day-to-day operation tasks. Either it is uh, covered on day-to-day basis, it is monitored and the data is collected, while evaluation access whether why and how well change has occurred and whether the change can be attributed to the intervention or not. So evaluation will measure that how and why will change. If there is a change is occurred, then it can be measured. Next difference is it looks at production of results at the output and outcome level in monitoring. While in evaluation, it looks at performance and achievement of results at the output, outcome, as well as the objective level. So already all these terms that we have covered, output, outcome, and achievement. So in monitoring, the production of result at the output and outcome level, while in evaluation, performance and achievement of results. Because how either we have achieved the desired result, a desired outcome, or not, it is accessible in the evaluation process only. while in monitoring, it concentrates on planned intervention elements. Monitoring involves only planned intervention elements, while evaluation, it accesses planned elements and looks for unplanned change. So searches for causes, challenges, risks, assumptions, and sustainability. So evaluation process is more critical than monitoring because it is work for unplanned evidences also, such that causes, challenges, whatever the risk, assumptions, and sustainability of the project life cycle or not. Now, what are the tools and methods for data collection and analysis in monitoring and evaluation are utilized? So first is survey. We have seen that when collecting the data collection method, survey questionnaire is designed, and to collect that questionnaire, survey method, interviews, focus group, observations, then document review has been done. And one other Now, data collection tools, we have seen that surveys, interviews, focus groups, then observations, document review. Then what are the data analysis methods that are covered during monitoring and evaluation? First is descriptive statistics. So it is used to summarize and describe the characteristics of a data set. So it includes measures such as mean, mode, median, and standard deviation. Then inferential statistics. So it used to make inferences about a population based on a sample. So it includes techniques such as hypothesis testing and regression analysis. Then qualitative analysis. So it involves analyzing qualitative data such as interview transcripts to identify patterns, themes, and trends. Next is data visualization technique. So data visualization involves presenting data in a visual format such as charts, graphs, and maps. So this can help to identify patterns and trends in the data, is how the trends or how the information is collected with the help of data visualization. Then GIS, that is Geographic Information System. So it involves analyzing and presenting data in a special format. So it can help to identify patterns and relationships in data that may not be apparent in traditional data analysis method. So these are the data analysis method which are used during monitoring and evaluation of the project life cycle. I'm very much thankful to the organizer that has given me an opportunity to present myself here in front of all the participants, all the respected participants. So I'm very much thankful to the organization. Thank you very much. Please unmute yourself so that next speaker will start the presentation. Thank you very much for your patient listening.
After that, they come to
Please unmute. So, with your kind permission, actually, it will means the topic. I think the topic has been covered. Means introductory part has been covered. What is monitoring and evaluation? What is the key differences between these two terms? What is the steps and planning procedures that can be observed during the monitoring and evaluation? So, I think according to my perception. I hope it is clear to every
Evaluation.
participant. Yes, I request organizer to hand over the session for the next speaker for the second topic. Basic monitoring and evaluation concept.